The Fate series is massive. It's a franchise which has countless sequels, spin-offs, and even stories like Garden of Sinners and Tsukihime which have connections to the universe in a multitude of ways. So when the Uneater asked what the best watch order is, I immediately knew what I had to do. So I believe that this is the best way to watch the Fate series. And no, it won't involve graphs, geometry, or any of that. Instead, this will be the easiest list you'll ever see in regards to how to watch Fate. So let's get into it. This is the best way to watch Fate Stay Night. My goal with this video was simple: viewer agency. I've found over the years of recommending Fate to others, it got really complicated really quickly. So from the very beginning, I wanted this list to be the simplest and most easiest list you'll ever see. I will also explain my reasoning for every choice on this watch order list and how I came to that decision. So with that out of the way, the first anime you should watch in this list isn't one anime. In fact, you have the choice of choosing between two. With your first anime, you can choose between Ufotable's Unlimited Blade Works or the Heaven's Feel trilogy. Now, why this order in particular? And why is there a choice between the two? Well, with the way Fate is structured, you don't really have to watch UBW to understand Heaven's Feel at all, even though Heaven's Feel came out after UBW. In fact, you may even be better off watching Heaven's Feel first if you find a 24-episode anime daunting for a first dive into such a massive franchise like Fate. It cuts out all of the fluff of Fate Stay Night and delivers a cohesive experience to its viewers, and as well, it's the most explosive of the Fate anime. So you'll be experiencing a fan favorite route right off the bat. No waiting at all. Pretty cool, right? As for UBW, by choosing this first, you'll basically experience a more standard version of events, and as well some of the best action and animation the series has to offer outside of Heaven's Feel. UBW also has some of the best storytelling in the series once you get to Season 2. You'll be able to get the best core experience with UBW first because every character and arc has more time to be fleshed out and shown with more depth. UBW, in many ways, is the most quintessential Fate anime out right now, and is a great choice for anyone wanting to hop into the franchise. But as well, you have to decide whether you want to watch both UBW and Heaven's Feel first, as our next series on this list is Fate Zero. Now, I would 100% recommend that you watch UBW and at least the first Heaven's Feel movie before even attempting to watch Fate Zero. The reason for this is rather simple. Fate Zero is a prequel. It is not the start of the Fate storyline. So the more you know about UBW, Heaven's Feel, and even the Fate route, more on that later, the better your experience with Fate Zero will be. If you watch Fate Zero first, you simply won't understand many of its references. And boy, are there references. So to make sure you get the best experience, I personally recommend you watch everything from Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Feel before watching Fate Zero, effectively making Fate Zero the third anime on this list. Fate Zero is probably the single best series to ever come out of the Fate franchise, and that's saying quite a bit. Written by Gen Urobuchi, he intended Fate Zero to be the ultimate Fate prequel anime, giving depth and backstory to as many of the routes as possible. Set 10 years prior to the events of Fate Stay Night, it follows our main character Kiritsugu Emiya, the father of our main character in Fate Stay Night, Shiro Emiya. This anime is so much more darker and way more deep than anything since, with Heaven's Feel coming in very close behind it. So for that fact alone, Fate Zero is the third anime that you should watch after UBW and Heaven's Feel. Now, the way I designed this list is that all you need to watch is these three anime, and from there you can go on your merry way. After completing Fate Zero, you can watch anything in the Fate franchise in any order you want. Want to start with Khalid? Go ahead. Fate Apocrypha? Sure. Lord El Malloy? Why not? This list is designed for you, the viewer first, and is built around accommodating you. So as of right now, you can stop watching this video. But for viewers who want to experience it all, I'm going to talk about some extended universe stuff and as well the elephant in the room, Fate Stay Night 2006. So I don't want to go too much into this. I'm currently preparing to release a 20-page analysis and deep dive into everything about the Fate route on this channel. So subscribe and ring the bell to not miss that. But what I will say is this. Only consider watching Fate Stay Night 2006 until you've seen all of UBW and Heaven's Feel and even Fate Zero. The reason for this is because the 2006 anime is in many ways just the Fate route, but as well shoehorned in elements of stories from UBW and Heaven's Feel. Another important note is that this is not a substitute for Heaven's Feel in UBW. You should not bother with this unless you really want to watch it out of curiosity. What I would instead recommend is you do seek out the Fate Stay Night visual novel on the internet to experience the Fate route in all of its glory. Now, I will not tell you where to get it, but you may have to sail the high seas to find it if you catch my drift. But this is, without a doubt, the best way to experience the Fate route, which is considered by many to be a great romance between Saber and Shiro. As well, I have a full playthrough of the Fate route, links will be in the description for that if you lack the means to play the visual novel or just don't consider yourself a techie. Call me Linus Tactics. Also, as a little bit of a side note, if you want to, you can watch UBW and Heaven's Feel and then play the Fate route visual novel or watch my playthrough and then watch Fate Zero. It's a viable option, but I'm leaving that up to you. So now you've experienced Heaven's Feel. You've experienced UBW and Fate Zero, and you're even playing through or watching my playthrough of the Fate route. What is next for you? Well, if you haven't already, it's now time to jump into the spin-offs, and after these, we'll be diving into the extended universe like Garden of Sinners. So in no particular order, remember, you can choose any of these you want to watch in any order you want. You may even choose to skip some, which I will recommend. First, we have Fate Apocrypha, which is very popular and features fan-favorite characters like Mordred and Jeanne d'Arc. This series has a unique twist of the Holy Grail War and features teams of servants and masters pitted against each other. It's heavily flawed, but it's worth a watch for Mordred and Jeanne d'Arc alone, in my opinion. And as a side note for this, Lord El Meloy does feature characters from Fate Apocrypha, so you may also want to lump in Apocrypha with Lord El Meloy, which also, as a side fact, is considered canon to the main Fate series more so than others are. Then we have Fate Khalid. While not my favorite, and certainly not one I would recommend personally, I feel there is a great deal of curiosity around this series. Our main character is Elia, and instead of being a bad guy, she's a good guy. And not only is she a good guy, she's now a magical girl. While I have heavily criticized the show for its disgusting sexualization of children and teenage girls, there is only one thing I can actually recommend to you from this series. This is the prequel film for the series, Oath Under Snow. This movie is exceptional and deserves a watch as it's simply incredible from beginning to end. I also have a video on this movie that you should check out to get more details from. Links are in the description. Next up is the recently finished Absolute Demonic Front Babylonia. Now this is a part of the spin-off universe Fate Grand Order based on the mobile game of the same name. This series features fan favorites like Gilgamesh from the main Fate, Ishtar, Mash, Fujimaru, Ushiwakamaru, and even features a couple surprises as well. This was a great anime, and it's absolutely a must-watch for its terrific production values and A+ characters alone. As well, there are 2 Grand Order anime in the works that are sequels to Babylonia, called Camelot, and as well, the Grand Temple of Time Solomon. So be on the lookout for those 2. And that's really it for my personal list. There is a full list of anime in the Fate universe I will link down below, but now it's time to get into the extended universe, aka the Type Moon universe or the Nasuverse. Fate has a lot in common with other Type Moon series for the most part. There is one writer which is unifying them all. And before Fate, there were other series from Type Moon, and we're about to go over those in this video, but beware, some of these things I'm about to recommend do not have an anime, and if they do, they're not good enough to recommend. First is The Garden of Sinners, which is a handful of movies packed together. It follows Shiki Ryogi, who has the mystic eyes of death perception, which may be one of the most overpowered abilities in all of the Fate Extended Universe. It even finds its way into the Lord El Meloy series and even the Grand Order series. This series is pretty much where Nasu, the creator of Fate and the other series we're talking about today, really started to hit his stride as a writer. It's a fantastic series, and if you guys want to see me cover Garden of Sinners and the next series we're about to talk about, please leave a comment and like the video. And the next series is Lunar Legend Tsukihime, which is one of my favorite manga series of all time. That's right, I'm recommending the manga for you all to read. Not the anime though, as while the anime is fine, it's not as good as the manga is. I've covered the anime prior on this channel. The manga is one of my favorites because the romance was very good and the action was fantastic. It's also well drawn too, but thankfully, the visual novel for Tsukihime is actually considered abandoned, so you can head on over to My Abandonware and download Tsukihime for free. As well, you can download its sequel, Melty Blood, for free. Though Melty Blood is not necessarily a traditional visual novel, it's as well a fighting game from the 90s and early 2000s. So, be prepared to fight people. And that's it. The Fate series is massive and features many spin-offs and sequels, but don't let that be daunting to you. By simply watching Heaven's Feel, UBW, and Zero, you won't need to sit through graphs and Excel spreadsheets to figure out how to watch it. In reality, all you will need is this highly simplified list of 3 anime, and from there you can explore anything you want without the need for any kind of watch order. Enjoy your time with Fate. It's not as complicated to get into once you realize you don't have to watch everything in one specific order. It's up to you how you consume your anime entertainment, so exercise that power you have. That's why I made this video, based around viewer agency, and gave you the options to watch what you wanted. So, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want more videos about the Fate universe, make sure to let me know by leaving a comment and a thumbs up. Remember as well, that massive 20-page Fate route deep dive is coming out sooner rather than later, and if you don't want to miss that, then you'll probably want to subscribe and ring the bell too. So with that being said, do all those things I just mentioned, comment down below what is your favorite watch order of the Fate series. Is there any specific cool watch order that you guys really enjoy? As well, know that I have a Patreon where you can subscribe to me on the $1 tier and above, and you get access to everything. As well, I got merch. You can buy my cat t-shirt, and as well other shirts are coming. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.